All right, and we are live again. Dre, cheers. Episode 3.
What's up, guys? We're back.
All right, so Dre, how's your week been? Actually, it's been 2 weeks since the last show. You've been busy.
Yeah. March is usually a little busy, especially around St. Patrick's Day. My other half's birthday is the 18th, right, of St. Patrick's Day.
Shout out to Shanae. Happy official 30th birthday. We wouldn't count last year, so
it's like a 30 plus one. It was like a dirty do-over, I think they call it.
30 do-over. I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. But she had a great time. We all had a great time, I think.
That's what it's about.
Had a little shindig, COVID safe,
DeWine, I know you watch these.
Uncle DeWine, I got you. I got you, fam. We here. But yeah, no, last 2 weeks haven't been bad. Just, taking life day by day. What about you?
I've been, I'll say busy somewhat, a little bit. Trying to get back into the gym a little bit, work out, working side jobs, this, that, and the other. I'm sore. Shane, screw you.
He can't hear you.
No, you should have worked that side job the other day. It was work, but it was well worth it.
I thought about it, but I got to go to my regular job sometime.
I mean,
they like when I show up.
At one point, he did make a comment. He's like, "Dude, I wish Drake could be here," because, like, again, it was tedious. I'm still sore from it, but it was worth it.
Oh yeah.
And
even when you do hard work, if you with the right people, like I feel like it goes by a little quicker, and it's it makes it not so bad that you're working so hard.
And like the dude that was he actually travels and does this stuff, so he kind of gave us some tips and tricks as we went. And once you get a rhythm going, you just start knocking it out, like
right.
And I think just about the time I was supposed to quit, Ashley was there. She was on FaceTime with one of her friends. She's like, "All right, I'm about to go." And she looked up when I was on the roof. She's like, "Never mind." She's like, "I don't know what he's doing up there."
Yeah, see that part, I'd have had to pass. They'd be like, "Drake, get up on that roof." Nope, I will not be the fellow that breaks the camel's back. Hell no.
I was on the top ladder. I was like, "Just so you know, I'm still getting paid. I ain't clock out yet." No, but I feel like that's a good transition going into it because last time we said, "Hey, this podcast is about to be work ethic," and just like what we've noticed between us and different generations. And I think then I said between us and the younger generation, but there's people that have the same lack of work ethic all the way through, but I just feel like the younger generation needs a wake-up call.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of the younger generation have no idea what so anybody can say all right, hey, I got to work today, or I'm going to work. But I felt like we took that to a different level. I didn't have to just work today. I got to work 2 jobs, come home, do some schoolwork,
right?
And then I got to be up in 4.5 hours because I got to be at job number 1 again.
Yeah.
So it's it's not the same.
What is your longest straight hours working?
My longest
your longest work
hours?
Day,
So you're
even if it's 2 jobs, 3 jobs.
The better question would be, how many hours did I sleep? Because once you start getting into the teens and stuff and adding up, I can't do all that.
Carry the what?
Yeah. So I would say the least amount of hours that I slept because I was at work the entire time. I have slept in minimum of 2.5, 3 hours. Because that first half hour you ain't really asleep. Sleep, but if somebody wake you up, I might take you out.
Especially if you don't unwind before you go to sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh no, I slept at work in the car.
I had to come back.
Toothbrush, back seat.
Yeah, I carry it like a go bag with all that stuff. But I think my longest shift at one job was 18 hours. But I've had between 2, I think it was 22 hours.
Yeah.
But I was technically gone for 24. I worked one, went to the next one, and then, worked overnight. But then after work ended, I had a class online I had to do to get certified for some stuff, to continue work. So I got home after the time I was at work the day before.
Makes sense.
And that was just, I was tired, but I didn't have a problem with it.
Yes, there's something I felt in that moment, I had to do it. You know? I just didn't have a choice. It is what it is.
But at the time, did you have to do it, or did you just create that mindset for yourself because that's what you expected of yourself?
I felt like I created that mindset for sure. But at the same time, like a small fraction of me feels like I had to do it. Just because like I didn't have like anybody really to depend on. Like if I didn't do it, like that just didn't get done. But at the same time, like that longest, the specific period I'm talking about where I worked the most was also it was an exciting time because it was during the World Series.
Indians. 2016.
So it was like I'm tired and I just don't know how I'm functioning or standing, but at the same time, like this might be once in a lifetime kind of thing. So I got to do it.
And I remember, about that time us being at the bar.
Like just nodding off.
Want a beer? Yeah. All right, let's go. Like, let's just go home.
Right.
Like we ain't get the beer. We're not going to. No, it's funny. Like when I first started working 2 jobs 10 summers ago, 11 actually, 11 summers ago. I kind of just made that decision. Like my freshman year had like finished the school, and I was like, when I come back, I gotta take care of stuff. I wasn't really working when I was in school at the time. I didn't have a car. I didn't have the means to get other places, so it was like limited on campus. They weren't really hiring, especially work study.
Right.
And even once I got a work study job, it was like 11 at night to 3 in the morning, like stuff that other people wouldn't do. I'm like, just throw me in there.
Which is a part of getting into like the workforce. You got to learn, like you work the grunt stuff first.
Oh, that's fine. Oh, I actually liked it though because I didn't have to deal with like craziness.
It's peaceful.
Yeah, it was great. But and work study's not too bad anyway. Like they kind of know work study, so like they know you're gonna be like looking up stuff for class and doing your homework and so they have leeway on that. But I came back and I just started hitting it, and I think I was working 50 to 60 hours at first. I remember going up to my GM toward the end of that summer. I was like, hey, look, we got to talk about hours. Like, like I really need to talk to you about this. And he told me, like, if you quit, I'm going to be pissed. I was like, actually, I want more hours.
Right.
He's like, don't you work a full-time job? I was like, oh, I do.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I want you to figure out where I'm going to get more here, though.
Right.
And I did that, 70 plus for a while, and then just kind of kept going. And, I worked my way up from that to be like a leader of an area, and then to, a manager. And I would get so mad because there was a kid, he walked up and he's like, Mike, man, they had me working 7 hours today. And I was like, when I show up here, I've got 9 hours in.
Right.
Plus the 8 in front of me.
Right.
I was like, can you do that math real quick?
Man.
He's like, man, that's a lot. I was like, oh, that's like 17. But then you got to count, like, when you get home, you got to shower, eat, wind down, go to sleep, wake up 2 hours later, and then do it again.
Right.
He's like, but I got to work 6 hours tomorrow. I was like, in those 2 days, that's less than today that I've already worked.
Right.
And now we're going to do this. And I was like, I just don't understand where the work ethic is.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because a lot of those kids are in the suburbs and they don't have bills or worries. Some of them just have gas to pay for it. And even that, they get that money. Right. It's like they don't have anything pushing them to work a little harder.
Right. Yeah. I remember I remember working multiple jobs, and by the time I started, like my first hour into work on Wednesday, I had already like surpassed 40 hours.
Oh, for sure.
Like between like jobs.
And that's with your work week starting Monday, not Sunday.
Right. And I'm like, I would see people like, oh man, they want me to stay extra, 3 hours a day. And, I might have 10 hours overtime on the check. And I was like, man, I wish the 40 some hours I worked at the other place was overtime.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. I remember probably like my 4th year in college, I went for 5.
Mm-hmm.
My 4th year, I was kind of over school. I was still going, but I didn't want to be there.
I remember.
So Monday morning, 5 a.m., I would drive out to Toledo, 2-hour drive. I would go get there in time, kind of settle in, go to class, handle class from Monday to Thursday. Thursday, when I got out of class, I would throw my stuff in the car, head back to Cleveland. I would work Friday, double Saturday, double Sunday. And Friday wasn't technically a double because of the hours they were open. But I was getting 35, 38 hours in 3 days.
Yeah. So
I was still working full-time in 3 days and hitting the road and then doing school full-time.
Right.
And everybody else is like, man, I can't work more than 6 hours. 6?
Yeah. See, I know a lot of people that have worked a ridiculous amount of hours, specifically, like, and especially for less than you should.
Yeah.
Because if you were, obviously, if we were making what we should, then you wouldn't have to work as much.
So I've had this conversation, I feel like, too. Like, if I got paid more and I've passed up on opportunities multiple times that would pay more than I was making because I'm not interested. And, like, I have to be invested to do that because it's my time. And if I just hate it the whole time, it's not really worth the money for me.
Right.
So I've passed up on that. And somebody said, well, look, you would only have to work one job. You'd have so much more free time. I probably would still work 2 or 3 jobs.
All right, so
if I hit the lotto, I'm still working. If I get $1 billion right now, I would still do my job the same way.
I might contradict myself in what I just said because
it's okay.
With you saying that, when I got to where I work now, had no interest in doing my specific job. Now that I've been doing it for a few years, I do like my job. I do show up.
No.
You know.
No, you take ownership of it and you kill it. Like
right. But that's also like a part of just like my mentality. Anything I do, like I gotta be great at it. And I just that's just how I am. But at the same time, like just working like the job I'm at now between what I used to work, it was a really big like increase like in money per year.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like my secondary job, I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So like, why leave if 100%. I can make it work?
100%. And you're getting paid doing something you enjoy.
Right. And then now people are like, okay, well now you're just insane because you got this job that you work full time. You got this side job that you now that you know you work and you made it work and you enjoy it. And now like you're starting a business. And I'm like, okay, yeah, well, dreams don't work unless you do.
I mean, I love that quote. And, you know, I think it's crazy that they think people like us are crazy, where it's like, you know, why do you work so much? I kind of enjoy it. And like, I have that competitive mindset in me. Like, I used to challenge myself so much on hours worked. Like when I say, okay, like this is how much I work in a day. If I could do 18, I could do 20.
Right.
Now, if I'm making money while I'm doing it, why not? And like pushing overtime and like, I can always do a little bit more all the time. And, you know, although people show up to work, that doesn't always mean they give their best effort.
Some people just there for a paycheck.
Yeah, but
which is fine.
I feel like
to an extent,
a lot of people also complain that they're not making enough money, or they're not getting the promotion. They're not getting offers that they think they should be.
Yeah.
But they're not showing that work. Like if you want to be a team leader or a manager or whatever the title is in your, you know, craft, you have to show that work and show that you're already capable of doing that before. Right. You can't have in your mind like, oh, like I should be doing that.
Exactly.
But not already, you know, taking the steps to show initiative and do it.
Right. That's how it was for the my second job for the Indians for me. When I came in, I had only worked the last month of the season. When I came back, I was a supervisor. Yeah. And everybody was like, man, like how you only work, you know, for a month and become supervisor? I was like, well, it's quite simple. Like they gave me a brand new gate that nobody else knew how to run, and I made it my bitch.
Look at my month versus your month.
Right. Like,
and you know, the same season I worked there, you know, he was telling me the same thing. Hey, when are you coming back? And you know, some people I work with was getting mad because like I took, you know, this much time off because my job was busy enough at that time to work too. And he's like, how do you get promoted when you haven't been there in 2.5 months? I gave, you know, everything I had for those first couple months. Yeah. And literally in training, when they were training me, I was hitting them back with new ideas on how to do things differently. Not because like I wasn't disrespectful.
Right.
I'm like, hey, but like if you guys do this differently, just because of my experience.
Right. And
he took it that way and was like, yeah, like, you know, either we're already working on that, but great, you know, insight for just noticing the fact that we could do this better.
Right.
And like, I would never be disrespectful and say, hey, you're just doing it wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're trying to teach me. So I'm here to learn.
Right.
But, you know, why not give good ideas back?
Right.
And although I wasn't there very long, I still was invested. You know, if I'm going to do something, my name's on it.
Right.
We're going hardcore.
Absolutely.
And I just think a lot of younger people don't have that. I asked a kid one time to go, it was passed down to me to pass it down to somebody else. And I picked probably the best person at the time with who I had to do this job. And when you're younger, you get jobs that are probably a little bit more shitty than other jobs. Go clean these walls. You only had to clean 3 walls of the room because of the way it was, this side was open.
Right.
Go clean these walls. These ones are pretty bad. I was, no phone policy. Don't be on your phone, anything like that. But I said, hey, listen, as long as you're not listening to anything vulgar, I don't really care. Have your music on low. If somebody comes in, obviously turn it down. But if it's just you there, because we're super slow, go ahead, listen to your music, do your thing.
Right.
I'm giving you like a couple hours.
Yeah.
Like it's not a huge room, not big walls.
Right.
Just I'm giving you time. Like I'm trying to work with you on the fact that I'm asking you something that's probably not like desirable to do.
Yeah.
But like it needs to be done. I saw him take the cleaning stuff over there, and he came back in less than 10 minutes, and he started doing something different. Nowhere near the bathrooms. I said, sir, what do you need? Like, are you looking for new cleaning materials? Did you not have what you needed? Like, I gave you everything you needed.
Right.
He said, oh, no, I'm done. I said, done like D-O-N-E or dumb?
He said, there was just a little dust over there. I just wiped it off.
And he's like, what? And I was like, okay, let me be nice. You're done. Like, you're done with everything. And he said, yeah, I'm done with everything. And I was like, so if we go look, all 3 walls are spotless. He's like, well, no, I only did the one part of the one wall. The rest of it was disgusting.
That wasn't why you was there at all.
Young man, I sent you there to clean the walls, to make them not look disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And you left it because they were disgusting. Like, that makes no sense to me. And then ask, why am I not a leader?
So, like, what happened? Like,
I walked away. I had to go talk to myself for a little bit. I had to say to me what I was going to say to him because it didn't make sense. And then when I came back, I found a nicer way to say it. And listen, that's the whole point of you being there. I don't need you to clean what's clean. I need you to clean what's not clean. Like, think of
you're so nice.
A guest experience when they come in. When they say, hey, that's gross, it should be clean. It shouldn't get to the point where it's that dirty. Like, that should have been cleaned ahead of time. So now we're going to keep it up to par, going forward.
Oh, you're a teacher. You're very nice.
I have to be.
You know how many people I done sent home? I'm like, you know what?
Actually, because when you send people home, I couldn't leave on time when I worked with you. I was like, can I leave like at the end of the game? Oh, no, we just sent 6 people home. 2 of them didn't have a belt. So you got to do with me. I got a belt.
See,
let me go home.
When I became a supervisor, it's not like I had nothing to prove, but I feel like nobody took me seriously because I was the youngest supervisor there, and I was only there for like a month or so. So yeah. I felt like you wasn't about to like come in here. Yeah, you weren't about to come in here and do something that I'm not allowed to do. Like, so for a while, obviously, we weren't allowed to wear like earrings and stuff. Right. I love my earrings. Even though I buy them at the gas station. Don't judge me, okay? My Cubits Chronorals for $5.99 are great. Okay.
Bling bling. Ow.
But like if I can't wear my gas station earrings, you can't wear your gas station earrings. If you tell me, well, I don't know what you want me to do with them, then you know what? Keep them in your ear, look at them on your way home. You can go. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'm not.
I just imagine all about the measurements. He's like just a profile. Allen Iverson earrings. Bling bling.
Like, I don't know if I felt like I didn't have time for it because of everything else I was dealing with, or
I get it. And I think I guess a difference between like where you were that new person versus like me being that new person, I had a younger crowd. Yeah. Nobody was older than me. So although I was young, they were younger.
Right.
So at that point, I had to be like that leader. And they already like kind of feared the GM and stuff like that. So they had to have somebody to talk to versus just like shutting down.
Right. Right.
And then that was before I started coaching basketball. But once I started coaching youth basketball, I changed my ways a lot. And like the way I said things, how I acted and stuff like that. And even like when Noah was born, like I kind of changed how I talk because I know young people, I can talk for 5 minutes. And if I say one word, that one word, that's what he's going to say for the next 6 months. Yeah. Yeah. Like he didn't hear anything else. He just heard that one word. Right. And somehow it was, and everybody young is like that. They pick up on just that random thing you don't want them to. So I try not to do things that are undesirable. Like, I do cuss, but just not around younger people, stuff like that. Right. So when I teach, I try to stay positive. And a bunch of people at work the one time, they're being really negative. They're talking shit about people. And I was like, look, like, you know, everybody's coming from a different situation. I was trying to explain to them and like keep that positive. They're like, you're too positive right now. We just need to like vent, be negative for a minute. Can you walk away? I've never been kicked out for being positive. Do not call me for the rest of the night. You're on your own. Manager Mike is not here tonight.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes it's like that.
But so I have a question for you. Kind of the same idea, spinning a little different. How do you feel about participation trophies? And I'm not talking, you know, first, second, third, gold, silver, bronze. Like, just in general, 10 teams participated and everybody gets awarded for that. How do you feel about stuff like that?
Okay, so when you say participation trophies, are you giving trophies just for showing up?
Yeah.
So it's a little different when it comes to, I feel like, youth sports.
I want honest opinion. That's fine, because I have my opinion, but I want to hear yours. We'll kick it back and forth.
Well, yeah.
You know.
So for me, it's a little different when it comes to youth sports because your mama done paid this money and she gonna drop your ass off, and that's gonna be that because we ain't gonna be late because you wanna fiddle diddle around. No, I done paid this money. I'm gonna drop you off.
Where
I need my hour.
They don't
piece.
use words like fiddle diddle. Where I'm coaching, get your ass in the car.
Right?
We ain't fiddle diddling nothing.
Well, you know, I'm just trying to be broad, straight, extra to everybody.
Go ahead and broad it, but we ain't fiddle diddling nothing.
All right, so I feel as though, you know, for youth sports, like if you get a participation trophy, like, all right, your mama made sure you was there. Maybe it should go to the parents. I don't know.
Right. Pizza party for them. Keep the kids at home. Yeah.
But if you get like a trophy, you know, for participation that's like specific for something like you improved on or did during like the season. So if you start off as like
most improved and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I feel like those are like, you know, specificity, you know, participation trophies, if that's a thing.
Specificity. Shout out to Miss Lloyd.
Back in
high school. Back in high school, that English 4 teacher, Miss Lloyd, she every time we had a paper to write, you had to be precise, but precise wasn't the word.
Yeah.
You had to use
specificity. Yes.
I have not heard that word in the last 8 years.
It never left me. I don't know why.
I've been out of high school longer than that, but I think it's been about 8 years since I heard that word. Continue.
But yeah, I feel like, so, I mean, just a regular participation trophy, like, okay, if you're, you know, 3-4-year-olds playing soccer, like that's okay. They just want like something.
I think, okay, that's a little different in general. 3-4, they don't even know what they're interested in yet. So
right.
I respect that.
So like when it comes to, so like Noah plays soccer, whatever, everybody got like a medal. Like, hey, you guys did great. Because they don't quite understand what's going on
that
this,
level,
that, and the other. As they get a little older, it's like, all right, you can do, you know, maybe MVP, like a most valuable player.
Yep.
Should everybody get a trophy? Yeah, depending on the age, the, you know, maturity, the sport, this, that, and the other group, maybe not.
So I guess like 3 and 4 is so young. Like a lot of 3 and 4-year-olds aren't even like playing basketball. They're walking, they're doing stuff. They're not playing basketball, soccer, baseball. Like
right, but there are so many programs for kids
just to get
that age.
No, I know,
for them to like, hey, go do something, quit tearing up my damn house.
Release the energy. Yes.
Right.
So like at that age group, I'm open. I'm not gonna take a side there, but like I've coached as young as 3rd grade basketball, and like we've been in the championship.
So 3rd grade is what, 8 years old?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've the 2 times in 4 years we went to the championship. We won 1, we lost 1.
Right.
And so the winning team gets a trophy, like winner, and the losing team of that game gets a runner-up trophy, and then no other team gets the trophies.
Okay, that sounds fair.
To kind of mix in, I guess, like some acknowledgement of, you know, work ethic altogether. They do give like honor roll, merit roll. They give the academic awards.
Okay.
So at the, like, you know, championship game happens, they have this ceremony for the winning team, then the losing team comes up there, they get the running up trophy, and then they give all the academic awards because they're still working hard, you know, student athlete, teaching them both, which I think is good.
Yeah.
They don't do like most improved or stuff like that. I know the NBA will do like 6th man of the year, stuff like that. I just don't think that all the other teams should get it. And maybe, at that age it's wrong because there's no coach, the coach isn't good enough, like all that stuff. But I mean, I've also had a team with a lot of potential that just didn't work hard.
Yeah.
They show up to practice, we get them an hour a week, and they're all over. And they're kids. I understand that.
Right.
But there's also kids their same age that they lock in and this is what they want to do. And I think the message when you just give everybody a participation trophy is like, hey, like, you're going to get rewarded if you show up and do nothing.
Right.
Don't worry. Like, you're still going to get, that raise. You're still going to get, you're still going to have a job next year.
That's what's wrong with the youth generation.
Right,
they show up and get a paycheck.
Right.
And they don't do shit.
Right. So, like, you're just going to be present and, like,
right.
Showing up's half the battle. And there's quotes that I kind of agree with.
Yeah.
But, like, when I show up, I'm there.
Right.
So, like, I think showing up half the battle. Like, that, for me, that quote is, like, when I couldn't do homework at home. So when I was in Toledo and we had 2 feet of snow, I would walk to the library and everybody's like, you're an idiot. But I can't work here. This is not a work environment for me. Right. This is my, like, relaxing, doing dumb shit, hanging out with the fellas environment.
Right. I'm going to turn on Bad Boys 2 and just chill.
Right. And we're probably drinking. Right.
Right.
Or I can walk to the library. It'll take me 30 minutes longer than it should.
Yeah.
But when I'm there for 3 hours and I'm locked in and I'm doing my homework.
Right.
Knock out all my quizzes, study, do everything I have to do because I don't want to walk back right away.
Absolutely. So,
like, I'm going to stay here and I'm make it productive.
Right.
So, like, for me, showing up is half the battle is, like, I showed up, plus I'm going to do something. Not, well, I clocked in. Like, I don't understand why they're mad that I'm not meeting my quotas or deadlines or not doing anything. And I just think, rewarding everybody after a certain point, age-wise, and I'm not going to give that number. It's just,
right.
I think, giving those participation trophies to everybody, it just is holding them back because then they're entitled later.
No, absolutely.
Well, why is it so hard to find a job? 10, 15 years ago, not everybody had a college degree. So now they're pushing it, but everybody has one now.
10, 15 years later, everybody's regretting that degree.
And we paid all this money. How are you going to get that job now? Because you are equal. Your resume is now equal with everybody else.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do with it? And, like, I don't use my degree right now, but I got a job right out of college.
Right. That,
like, I have room to grow and stuff like that. But
exactly.
It's not even in the field that I just studied for, for 5 years.
Right. Yeah, it's weird.
I'm okay with that, by the way. Like, I'm okay with the fact that, like, I think everything happens for a reason. So the fact that I'm not in that same field, I'm okay with that.
Well, I feel like you also, college is an experience that I feel like everybody has to at least, try a little bit, do something, go here, go there. You went like the top tier of the thing by going away to college because that's a big toss up when you graduate high school. It's like, okay, well, I got scholarships. I can go to this school. I can go to this school. I can go to this school. But do I want to go away to school? Do I want to come,
stay
be
here,
far enough away to where I can come home when I want to come home, but still, like, go away when I want to get away?
Yeah.
Do I want to go to school on the other side of the country where I don't want to see my parents for a while because they get on my damn nerves?
When I was in school, I didn't have a car, so it didn't matter where I was at. I just was there.
Right.
I could have been downtown and be like,
Like, for me, I felt as though when I went to college, I had to stay closer to home because of I had stuff I had to do. Like, I had family issues. I had stuff I had going on. Like, I had to do it. So I didn't get to experience, like, the going away portion.
Right.
But at the same time, I had friends like you who went away that I could, rent a car for my job at the time and jump in the car and boogie on down the road. Like,
absolutely.
So it's just to like people's preference, whatever, participation trophies. It's almost like a segue that would lead you through, like, making that judgment call is going to literally set the tone for the rest of your life, pretty much. Like, high school, college, jobs, all that.
I mean, so, like, we just had Josh and we just coached a playoff game with a team that they obviously should have been the championship team this year in that age range. And he called it from, like, the second day of practice. He's like, dude, this team, like, 100%. And, as they grew, it was like, okay, like, the other teams have great players. Like,
right.
no knock on them at all.
Right.
But if these kids put in the work, like a 4th and 5th grade team, we have a 3rd grader on that team. His dad didn't want him playing down to his age group. And, you know, he wanted to play him up. So we have him on 4th and 5th grade. And, you know, he's great at basketball, but then he's still an 8-year-old in the mindset. So sometimes, like,
maturity level,
he would like just shut down, and we had to, you know, take the 10 minutes and just talk to him.
Yeah.
And we really didn't have a problem with doing it. It wasn't like, oh, like, here we go again. It wasn't one of those situations. It's just like, hey, listen, like, we're instilling, you know, his future in this. Right. And like, as a coach, it's more than just the game. It's mindsets. You know, if you're coaching a young group of men and they see a bunch of girls walk by, how are they going to respond to them?
Right.
Are they going to be respectful, disrespectful? Like, that matters. Grades, you know,
right.
How they act. I never thought, mind you, like, as a coach that's not getting paid for this job, like, it's 100% volunteer. We just love the sport. We're doing it.
Right.
And like, I've had so many parents walk up where I think my first fear as being a coach was, you know, the parents are going to question our decisions all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't really happen. It happened one time. That otherwise never really happened. And the parents would bring their kids to us and be like, hey, listen, they got in trouble at school today. Can you talk to them? They value your opinion more than other people's right now, and they're not listening to us.
That makes sense.
And it was almost like being a co-parent. And
it's like a mentor kind of thing.
I had to get used to it, but I was okay with it.
Hold on. Next time, can we get some more comfortable ass chairs? Because I got a lot of ass here. And
I better start asking somebody to create us an account on the line.
We got to call Wayfair or something, because all this ass, my ass got to shift. It hurts.
You told me you was growing this morning. Found out your body was growing.
I was growing as a person, but, you know. All right, we're going to reach out to Wayfair for something. I don't know. Get some cushions on Amazon or something. Well, I got a 30-day Prime membership. Sendachair.com. You know what I'm to say?
Sendachair.com or something. Hey, just find somebody that's got comfortable chairs that has like a 45-day program where we can send it back if we don't like it.
That's cool.
Every 45 days,
we can just borrow it once a week.
Yeah. you buy one, I buy one. I got different names.
That works.
I got about 3-4 names I can put it under. So just let me know.
Say that'll work.
I get different chairs all the time.
Right.
And then we'll give reviews. We got you. You should not buy this shit. Dan Marino should buy a car just like this. Not this one. Tear this one up.
So these parents, when they're confiding in you and you know, trusting you to be like, hey, can you, you know, say something to my kid, this, that, and the other? Like, obviously you place, you know, a value on that. It's like, okay, you know, absolutely. Like, I'm here, like, we're doing work.
Right.
Like, let's get this together. So when you see, you know, improvement or non-improvement, like, are you like checking back in with the parents and be like, hey, you know, I'm, you know, 100%. Doing what I can here. Like, how's he doing at home? Like, is everything, you know, getting better? Like, what's going on?
Because I can't see those things.
Right.
So I know how he is at practice, and, you know, I can base that a little bit. But if we just went based on practice, I wouldn't have known he just got in trouble at school, you know, last week. So, and I always do it in front of the kid too.
Right.
Like, little challenge. Hey, how's he doing in school? Just so, you know, I mean it, genuine question, 100%. And I want to hear what the parent says back.
Right.
So now we're all looking at each other. Hey, how's he doing in school? Is he getting in trouble? Is he doing this, whatever?
Right.
Nope, it stopped. Okay, we'll see what we can do.
So when you address said parent, this is one of the generational questions. When you address said parent, do you call that parent by their first name? Or do you like, Miss Parker? Miss Parker.
I'm one of those, mind you, I have 2 teams of 10 people. So that means that's 20 parents per team. That's about 40 people.
Ma'am.
Yeah. 100%.
Ma'am. Sweetie, come here.
I did one of those things like if you were right here, like I make sure we're straight in front of each other and I start talking, but I don't start off with the how's he doing? I'm like, hey. Oh, cool. How's he doing? I haven't had this issue with the parent yet, but I've had to talk to people with the lazy eye. So I got to make sure they're focused in on me, but I make sure, hey, how's he doing?
We can talk about that on here, can we?
You remember the band teacher in high school?
Ooh. Oh, I can't. Oh, no, we're not going to say his name. We're not going to do that.
But
he had water in his eye, though.
He used to yell at me all the time, but I didn't know he's yelling at me. And then he'd get mad that I didn't know.
I know.
I wasn't even trying to be rude.
It was rough.
I was like, me? And then he wouldn't say anything. So
he never knew I was in his class. I sat on that side. He said my name. I said, yeah. That was it.
That was one of those weird situations where, like, he wanted me to be in jazz band because I had such talent playing. Okay, participation trophy type situation. I couldn't read music. I was drumline all the way.
Oh,
like,
man.
I learned by watching other people on the trumpet, and I could play the song, but I was not reading the book. If you turn the page, I wouldn't even know because I never looked down. I could play the song 100%.
Yeah, you learn by ear.
Every time we did the test, I would play the same song. He's like, oh, no, we should like probably move to the next level of song.
Nope. I like this one.
Nobody else is playing that song, and how am I supposed to do it?
That's kind of how I did. I mean, I taught myself how to play piano.
I still want to learn. I got 2 songs I need to learn.
Oh, it's sexy. When you learn how to play piano, oh, it's sexy. So something about it is it's just
like I have the.
Yeah, but you gotta, know where your hands and stuff is at when you do that.
Well, no, I'm just saying. The keyboards aren't so big right here, but piano, yes.
It's a
rhythm.
I taught myself how to play piano. And in high school, we had like that one semester where we had this random keyboard piano class or whatever it was, or choir. I think it was choir. And the lady was like, hey, do you guys want to learn choir or piano? And everybody say, piano, we ain't singing nothing. So like we learned, like she taught us like, the basics and the chords and stuff. And I always just ran with it. But like I learned to read music. And I think it took me maybe like 2 weeks to learn how to play what's that song by Casey and JoJo?
All My Life?
Yeah, that one.
That's like either that or Crazy.
The intro to that? Yeah, it took me like 2 weeks to learn how to play that.
It might be Crazy.
No, just
oh, that's All My Life.
Yeah. Oh, you lovers.
They played that when
couldn't play it right now.
They played that when I won Prom King.
Yeah. You was Prom King, wasn't you?
Yeah, but it's funny because I didn't think I was popular at all.
Man.
Like I was Pedro requesting votes upon arrival. I was at the door. Like,
referencing you in the last podcast, you was a unicorn.
Like it wasn't meant to be, and somebody might have rigged the votes, but it happened. I did not expect it.
Yeah, that was dope though.
I was at the door like, vote for me.
Say I was very happy for you. That wasn't my kind of scene at all. I wasn't trying to be that person in high school.
I just remember the hard ass biscuits and winning Prom King.
I was so mad we paid for that.
Yeah, I mean it's an experience though. Like,
yeah, I could have paid my nana to make collard greens or something.
That's a nana.
I didn't want that mess.
No, I mean, I wasn't there for the food. It was just the experience, in and out.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
It wasn't too bad. I rented a car for that shindig.
Like, I mean, we worked hard to be there. Back to work ethic. We worked hard.
Yeah.
To be, because, 16, 17 years old, graduated high school in 3 years with honors.
Yeah.
Was that what we worked for? Maybe not, but we worked hard and we deserved like a little something.
Yeah.
So, I'm there. I get it.
I think a lot of people don't realize, like, I had a conversation with somebody yesterday, about high school and how hard we had to work and this, that, and the other. And it was like, why would you go to high school on the east side if you live on the west side? I say, well, that's very simple. I mean, I got out of school in 3 years instead of 4. But at the same time, I was in school. Like when I got to high school, I was like, oh man, I know I'm gonna just get out at 2:15 every day. Like this whole 3:45, 4 o'clock for elementary school, like this is not working for me no more.
Till we got out at 3 something.
At 3:45, and then we still had an hour and a half commute back to house.
Well, see, yes, but my second and third year, I wasn't getting home till like 7 or 8. I had basketball practice.
Yeah.
So like I was there. We had work study. Girls played basketball before we did. We only had one gym.
Yeah.
So like they would do their work, practice and all that first. We'd be in work study or doing, study hall, I guess they call it, and doing that. I wasn't getting home till late.
Yeah. It's crazy. And it's also crazy to think that like our parents trusted us to do that back then. Because like the world we live in now, like I'm not trying to like spoil my kids, but at the same time, like I'm not gonna say it's not as safe as it was because obviously the world's always been a crazy place.
Yeah,
but it's
people are on edge for everything now.
It's a different world that we live in right now. There's too many things that have happened, too many things that have transpired, and I'm sure our parents at a certain point felt the same way, and their parents felt the certain,
100%. And I have I don't know if you have it. It's called the Citizen app. And like,
see, that would worry me. That would worry me.
So I get like notifications like, hey, so and so's nearby this, and I don't have like 3 friends on it, but
yeah,
it's not even like existent in Toledo. Nobody reports there. So like Ashley gets all the stuff around here, but I don't get the stuff like with her. She's like, I hear sirens.
Yeah, see, no, I can't get a notification on my phone like, hey, this offender just turned down your street. Well, where he at then? Like,
you can turn those ones off. I get the shootings. That's all I get.
Yeah, see, I don't want them either. Like, I heard it.
Body found. All right, it was okay when it was like 1.5 miles away. I got a lot of those, but I got one man showing a gun 300 feet away. I looked at the front. I was like, well, shit.
Can you reply on that? I'd be like, should I get mine?
I was trying to remember how far, like how long is the average front yard? Like, is that like 30 feet? I was like, what about 10 yards?
Yeah, outside the measuring tape about to get shot.
I need to know, where was he at? Right. I don't see him. But yeah, I mean, it's just worrisome a little bit. But I don't even think like there's no safe zone. Everybody's like, oh, like just move in this area. Like bad things can happen anywhere. Yeah, accidents happen.
Absolutely. I just feel like it's it's hard to raise like my kids in the world that we live in now, just because there's so much more that I have to try to prepare them for. And it's a lot more than what we had, which is, I feel like we grew up with our parents working all the time, like nonstop. Yeah. Like that's why they trusted us to go, hour and a half away. So, well, I'm gonna be at work anyway. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna get your cell phone, call me.
I had a teacher, I think it was Miss Forrest. You remember her? The business tech.
Oh, she ain't play.
Oh, yeah. Well, all right. So she thought she didn't, but she hit me the one time. She was like, yeah, like you keep messing up. She's like, you're gonna go home. I'm gonna be there. Like, I'll be sitting there eating dinner with your mom. I was like, dude, my mom gets home so late, she don't make dinner. It's like, if you can convince her to make something though, tell me what it is. I was like, yeah. Like, it's not that she just wouldn't cook. I was like, dude, by the time she gets home, like she's tired. Like,
yeah, I might say
it was different.
We grew up with like a working
I'm gonna be
parents.
there. I was like, you're gonna be hungry too. You better get something on the way. Get that pizza.
My dad worked second shift, so he was going from 2 to 11. Yeah, and then he worked all the way out in Bedford. So I mean, he wouldn't get home till midnight. Yeah, and my mom worked at the airport for like 2 or 3 different companies because it's just a hustle.
Yeah, like my dad, my elementary days. He worked third shift, so I don't even remember the hours. I was too young. I want to say like 9 at night until like 7 in the morning, but he was 7 days a week. Yeah. Like for the company he worked for, he was a supervisor and he was third shift, set 12/7. So all right, 12/7. It was like 9 to 9.
I saw him the other day, by the way. He's in the front yard selling something. I don't know.
still hustling.
I say always hustling.
Still hustling. But like again, that's just back to like the work thing. Like, what do you want out of it? And like, what are you willing to put in? And I think that was one of the 2 biggest lessons I had growing up. One, when in Rome, act like a Roman. If you're at somebody's house, be respectful to what they have going on.
They open a beer, you open a beer, same thing. Yeah.
Oh. When I was growing up, it was more so like, hey, if the shoes are off at the door, shoes are off at the door. Like some houses are like that. Some of them are, hey, no, it's fine. Right. Whatever it is, when you're in Rome, that's how you act.
So are you talking when you walk into a room like you speak to everybody in the room?
Yes, but it was also based on levels. So some of my family members didn't understand that. They're not welcome everywhere. So, back in the day, I'd walk into a room, especially around holidays, and my grandmother would be the farthest person in the room. It's kind of like
granny, Darius or so.
And I would walk past everybody, talk to her first, and then work my way back. And nobody said anything to me. Now, I also have other family members who are pretty close who would say hi to everybody else and then never acknowledge her. That was never the case. Like, I would I would walk past people. I would, excuse me, boop, right, nudge you, whatever. But they understood when I came back why. Yeah. There was never a question about it.
She got seniority.
100%.
Yeah, I just had a conversation with somebody about that too, and
even if it's like you don't know everybody or you're not that comfortable with everybody, hey, how's everybody doing?
Right. You got to address everybody when you walk in the room. Yeah. I don't care if you don't like them or whatever. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey guys, how you doing?
How you doing? I like you, but hey, you got nice shoes on today.
Right. Thank you for showing up. Just thank you for showing up.
You had to come.
You had to be here. Your
mama had to drop you off.
Now, yeah.
No, absolutely.
No, it's a respect thing. 100%.
Yeah. So do you feel like the younger generation, I know like we're on like work ethic and stuff, younger generation has like that same respect and
no.
Because I don't feel like they do either.
No. No, I think everybody, and I follow like motivational speakers who go back and forth on this, and you know the technology is kind of a killer on that because you know people hang out in a room with hey, let's get 5 of our friends, let's go hang out, and then all sit on our phones, but we're gonna send each other the shit on social media that we're looking at. So
speaking of that, let me see this TikTok.
Right. You see that TikTok I just sent you 10 seconds ago? Like,
right.
No, like so when I go out, with people, I don't really want to be on my phone the whole time.
Unless for playing touch
games. Okay, but that's like for a us thing. And like, hey, like, what do you want to hear? Here's this, whatever. But like, why be out if you're not gonna socialize and just kind of get that like bond going?
Right.
And I feel like so many people are just always stuck in that like little vortex, and it's hard to respect everybody when you don't even acknowledge that there's people around you.
Right. No, that makes sense. I feel like you had people to be like, yeah, you didn't say hey to such and such. Well, they put that they was here and I liked it on Facebook. Like
they must know they must know that blue is my favorite color, and I like the fact that this was puffy here, and it's like you didn't say any of that. You hit the like, and they just assume that everything. No, like you got to talk to people. You got to, show respect. Hey, like how's life going? Acknowledge the fact that you even know who they are. You remember what's going on.
Right.
We talked last week. Follow up.
Yeah. That's another thing the younger generation don't do. They do not follow up.
And I think I've seen like plenty of pictures, memes, and stuff like that where it's like, I've seen one where it's like husband and wife laying in bed, but they're like facing the opposite ways, and they're both on their phones, and it's like this person may not be here, or like parent, grandparent, this person may not be here in 5 years,
right?
And you're gonna wish you weren't sending stupid TikToks the whole time, that you could have been spending this valuable time with this person. Like
absolutely,
especially the older generations. Like while you have them, because I don't have any grandparents left anymore, they have stories and they just want to tell you, and they're valuable.
Oh, Nana,
they can teach you.
Nana tell you a story, cry in the first 6 seconds, then laugh, and then cry again.
Yeah, but that's real, and like she doesn't want to see you have to go through that same emotional roller coaster.
Right.
So she's telling you what happened. And once they get to a certain point, because like I feel like I've heard stories from my grandmother before, and then like 5-10 years later it kind of shifted a little bit where she was like, okay, I was probably wrong here, but this is what I did and I meant it.
Right.
And like, I mean, shit, I've heard her call the whole family dumb before. She's been a pistol at times.
Yeah.
And then later on, she thought back and, I probably wouldn't have done this way, learn from it.
Right.
Don't do this. And she's old school. So she hit you with a lecture. She grabbed your hand. She's like, all right, Mike, she only grabbed 2 fingers. And when she did that, 3 hours later, you were not getting those fingers back. She's about 90 years old. You were not getting those fingers back because she had stories to tell you. And that was valuable. And like, I never tried to pull away, but I just would try to wiggle. I'd be like, all right, I can't. Okay, like we're here.
Dude, remember that one time I asked Granny about the Bible?
You made the comment.
I was there forever.
It was 2012, and you made the comment the world was about to end like December 12th, 12, like 12th to 12.
Yeah.
And she is very religious and went into a 2-hour spiel, and I laughed.
Dre, now you listen here.
I knew he was learning. And yeah, absolutely. She let him know.
Oh, Granny, God rest her soul. She let me know, absolutely.
For hours.
That's okay though, because sometimes I feel like you need that.
At one point I actually asked the question because like I'm not super religious, wasn't brought up that way, but I had questions.
Well, I brought up Baptist.
Well, I had questions, and she, to the best of her knowledge, gave me as much as she could, and I set myself up for it, but I was okay with it. Like I knew what I was getting into, and I'm even right now I'm not religious, but like if I have questions, I ask, and not to be disrespectful.
She was Catholic, right?
Well, I don't think so. I don't remember though.
I thought she was Catholic.
I
thought so.
Maybe, I don't. But I was never brought up in church. Like, unfortunately, the only times I've really been in a church setting is for weddings and funerals.
I've been exposed to 2 religions in my life. Baptist, Catholic. So
Catholics work out way too much when they're doing religious shit.
You know something? Let me tell you. Catholics might work out a lot in that 1 hour today at church.
Rap just got you for 5.
When Father say, "Hey, we starting," and you hear that bung, that thing go off, and then they start singing the songs and whatever, and then they pass the bread and drink the wine, and up and down prayer, this, that, and the other. Not mocking Catholicism. I'm just saying that's, in my mind, it's a step-by-step thing with the Catholic service.
When we was hungover in church, that's what happened.
Yeah. So, but Baptist, man, you got to get there at 9:20. Don't start till 9:40, but you got to get there at 9:20 because Sister Walker might park in your spot. You don't want to do that because then you got to park in the back and you're going to mess up your good shoes you only wear once a month. And don't let it be Easter because you only wear them once a year.
Right.
And so you go in that church at 9:20 and you sit there and then you congregate with everybody for a smooth 45 minutes. And then everybody realized it's
before COVID. This is before COVID.
The kids would be outside getting honey buns and stuff for the minivans. Dude outside selling snacks out of his van. That was acceptable back then.
That doesn't sound suspicious at all.
No, not at all. But all the parents knew him. Like, he was there.
Hey, creepy Ted.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was fine. Yeah, honey buns. I don't know.
Safe,
right? And then we had services. So you had like the announcements before you got to the actual service. You had the announcements. That's when they would tell you whoever got that 72 green Cadillac parked in spot number 8.
Sister
you
Walker.
About to get told, Sister Walker.
She parked in the wrong
right.
spot
You parked in a restricted area. You are about to get told. Also,
when she pulled in, she's like, "They knew who I am."
Right. Whoever got that Lincoln in the back that's blue with
back
the
in the
pink
day, they were the
wheel.
shifter down here. You had to shift up like this.
Oh man, do you remember that?
Those reference points? Yeah, because
they only got them for trucks.
They gonna look at me like I'm stupid because they didn't have this or the little dials. But you had to like pull it and then push. Yeah,
you had to slam it up there, or else it wouldn't stick. You go get out the car and it still be going. But no, like in Baptist church, it was you had like announcements and then you had a prayer. It was like a 6-hour thing. So you would go to church at 9 and not get out until 2 p.m. Like there was a reason you would drive past a Baptist church and you would smell food. It's because like around 11 or noon, like certain sisters would go downstairs to start cooking because everybody had been there all day. So we got to eat and give thanks and grace and that.
So some of us got diabetes.
But Nana said
got to eat.
That some of them sisters down there smoke crack and put roaches and stuff in the food. So we had to go. She had our supper at home.
Nana, is this true?
Nana knows.
Nana, is this true?
Yeah.
I haven't heard this story, so I need her to talk to me about this. We're about to have a little Dixie cup full of wine.
Nana was a diehard church fan. Every Sunday, all the stories, all the Bible verses.
I'm not doubting that. It was just the cooking of the wine.
Church became a popularity contest of who had the biggest hat, who had the nicest clothes, who was talking about this. It was drama, and it wasn't about the religion no more. So Nana quit going. So
I think because I just live by movie quotes and remember all this movie shit, just the remembrance of Big Mama's house.
Yeah,
Hattie Mae Pierce.
That is Baptist church.
And the old lady like that was down the street. Like I pictured that when you said that. First in my mind thought was that.
Yep, Hattie Mae Pierce. Yep,
Hattie Mae Pierce.
That's Baptist church all day. All day. It's an experience, I will have to say. Even when it comes to celebrations, weddings, funerals, it's an experience. You ain't been to a this is not talking bad about the dead folks, but you ain't been to a funeral until you've been to a Baptist funeral. Because the one line that's gonna get beat into your head, this is not a funeral, this is a celebrate.
I've been to one.
Like
I was with you.
It's a party.
I've been to one. Yep.
Like everybody boo-hoos, walking around to the front, but then like that dude get on that organ and them drums get to going and it's a party.
Yeah.
All you missing is the wine.
We don't need him. We're gonna exceed our limit upon people.
Right. Yeah.
No, I think it's just weird movie quotes jumping into my head right now, and like characters. I feel like going from that to what I said to like the original idea. We need more Medeas in this world.
Yeah. Do you know what Medea stands for?
Like, go get it. No.
You don't know what Medea stands for?
No, I don't think they do either.
So Medea is short for Mother Dearest.
I feel like I've heard that, but I didn't know that. Like, I couldn't say that I knew it.
So, like, Medea is usually like the oldest.
What's the damn
like
DEA?
Female in like a family. So, like, currently, like Nana would be like my Medea, which she was something back in the day.
She cooled down.
Yeah, she calmed down now because she's such
a sweetheart.
Yeah.
But just the whole like, get over your shit and go. Like, just straightforward, do your thing. Don't bullshit. I think we need more Medeas.
Probably.
In this lifestyle we're living. Everybody's so sensitive.
It would definitely help out their work ethic for that lower class. Or not lower class, but the generation. Just
working people. And like, it doesn't even matter like, blue collar, whatever, like executives, CEOs, everybody needs to work harder.
Yeah.
You're just working at a different pace.
Right.
What you have to deal with and who you're looking out for. But like, don't be self-centered, just work harder.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like, everybody has to work hard these days. Regardless of your job, like some people have it harder than others. Like if you're given a hard work task for the day, don't cry about it.
Right.
Like I've heard people that like legit cry about a task at work. It's not that hard. And it's like something they've been doing for years. It's not like something that's outlandish, something that just like, you're expecting me to do that? Like,
right.
I've never done anything. Like if you gave me a task that I've never learned anything about that, I'm one of the people that I want to learn.
Right.
I worked for a company and they were short on people and they were like, hey, listen, it's a 2-guy job to run this monorail crane. He's like, I don't trust you being at the bottom of it, so I'm going to teach you how to operate it, and then I'm going to be at the bottom and guide you how to do it.
Okay.
I was like, I feel like people get paid a lot of money to do this. He's like, usually, but it didn't happen. I was like, you right.
Yeah.
So he taught me how to do it, and it was hard, like, because I know if I hit the wrong button, like, he's underneath this thing.
Yeah.
50 feet down.
That's kind of how it is with my full-time
but
job.
I operated that shit like, let's do it. And I'm always wanting to learn the next thing. But like a task that you've been doing for, 5 years, 10 years, whatever.
Right.
If you're asked to do that task today and you've been doing it already, don't cry that it's too hard.
Right.
And like, I know adults, like I said before, sometimes it's not just the kids. Sometimes they're learning this shit from the adults, whether it be the fact that, complaining will get you somewhere or you should be acknowledged. Like either way, the adults are the ones teaching these young individuals that, you should still get promoted. Should you? Like you really got to outwork the next person.
Right.
Because you're never going to get where you want to be if you don't.
Absolutely. Like I say,
so don't cry about it, man. Just go ahead, put in the work. And everybody's been there or somewhere worse,
Yeah. You just got to do it. It is what it is.
Just push through it. It's going to be worth it. And if you also give your best foot forward, try your hardest, show a little like enthusiasm when you're doing it, you might get that next job. You might get promoted or like you might get noticed somewhere else. Cause I think I just carry that energy over to the point where like, I think it was a couple weeks ago, I got pulled over by a state trooper. And in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm screwed. At the end of it, just because of the conversation I had and like how I deal with people, he offered me a job.
Yeah, that ain't never gonna happen to me. Sir, step out of the vehicle, please.
No, like I mean, I just assumed it was gonna be the worst thing ever. And like when he walked away and came back after he ran everything, he's like,
yeah.
What do you do for a living? How much do you make an hour? I was like, ooh, that's that one. I'm screwed.
You gonna write that on the
ticket? Right. Are you gonna take that into consideration on things I can't afford?
Work minimum wage.
That stimmy ain't hit yet. I can't afford it at the moment.
Right.
I will pick shit up on the side of the highway, but I can't afford whatever you about to write down. But no, he was like, I think you would make a great state trooper. And I'm like, can I be honest? Like, I gotta ask, like, what out of this encounter? Like, you pulled me over for not doing something right. And he's like, just the way you talk to people and the way you like interact and this, that, and you're like,
what were you not doing right, Mike?
I was a little faster than what they suggested on the sign.
Oh, so the sign was just a suggestion.
They suggested that if I was going this speed, it'd probably be all right.
Yeah, you didn't like that suggestion, did you?
I mean, no. See, here's the thing. I make that trip a lot, and it's just I was trying to cut the time. Again, I like to challenge myself and do better than the last time.
Sorry, officer. It's just my generation. Like to challenge ourselves.
Right. It's just me being a hard worker. I was trying to make it in better time than I did last time.
Yeah.
Well,
at least we know the younger generation won't get tickets. At least we know that.
I didn't get the speeding ticket. He offered me to hook me up with a recruiter. Said if I wanted to do it, I could.
Well, yeah, that's good stuff, though.
And I was so confused, but at the same time, he's like, look, you're super respectful, like, based on the whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's like, I'm a very good read on people. And I'm not saying he's wrong. Like, I think that was genuine, but, I just didn't see that coming. I thought I was screwed.
Makes sense.
But the whole work hard thing, man, like, just do it and, like, feel that sense of pride. Like, if there was like one thing you worked the hardest for, whether it's like tangible, intangible, like, you set your goal to a certain level, and that could be like something you're working on now that you haven't even like got to where you want to be yet. Because like I know you just started this company and you're killing it, but is that what you consider like the hardest thing you're working for, or was it a position at work, maybe a grade in school?
So the hardest thing I would have to say I'm working for to obtain is, which I know it don't seem like it because I seem like I'm super busy between these couple jobs and these podcasts.
Well, you're always busy. You're always busy, but you're still working. You're always working.
I'm really trying to attain the whole work family thing.
100% respected.
It's very, very difficult to try to be successful and also be present in the family.
100%.
But I try to make it a point,
work-life balance,
to be there as much as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, a lot of people are like, oh man, like you run your business out of your house. Well, yeah, because if my family needs something, I'm
10 steps away.
Yeah, like I can go in the house. Yeah. It's no big deal.
You got shorter strides these days. It's 10 steps, not 6.
I'm getting older. I told you I grew this morning, right?
It used to be 6. It's 10. They're a little bit shorter, but I get what you're saying.
But there was days that I would only see my family, like when I left in the morning, they were asleep. When I came home, they were asleep.
Yeah.
And then when I left again the next morning, they were asleep.
Yeah.
I'd only see them on like a screen during the day, or if I, got a chance to go home on lunch during the day. Yeah. And my goal is to try to be able to, have my full-time job with, my retirement and the other, and then have a business that's going to run itself. I'm obviously oversee it and make sure everything's doing whatever, but I'm trying to create, this mentality for my kids that, hey, you can do all this and, still be present, but at the same time, like, here's what I did for you guys.
Right.
Like,
and here's an example of how it works. I'm
not telling you, I'm not doing this saying like, hey, I built this so you don't have to work hard. No, you're still going to have to work hard.
And
like, that's unavoidable.
So I've had the conversation, 5+ years ago, that if I ever have kids, and 5 years ago, it was, I think more relevant, but I was like, yeah, like my kids are going to have a flip phone for the first phone. And I think now it just gets funnier every year. He's like, what's a flip phone? Like,
get that Nokia.
You go to Verizon. Weren't even flip phones.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You get that.
That was a little brick with numbers.
Remember that snake game?
Yeah.
You just had the up, down.
Snake in the phone where he's like back and forth.
Right.
But I think, it's just, they don't need, I can't give my kid an iPhone and, there's an expectation that goes back to work ethic. They're too young. It's safety. Yes, 100%. You're going to have a phone. You're going to be able to contact those people you need to.
Right.
But like, you don't need full access to TikTok for 30 hours a day. Like,
right.
At least when I was younger, I'd be outside all day, every day. Like, if I came back in the house 2 minutes back and forth too many times, it was like, come in the house again, you're staying in the house. And I thought that was punishment.
Right.
On a nice summer day, stay in the house. Oh, no. We used to drink out the hose.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the best water ever.
Let the water clear, because the first 10 seconds is hot water, get the spider webs out. After that, you drink it. It's crystal clear water.
Right.
And it's cold. And it was good. I'm still alive, and
absolutely.
we just kept going. And, I think it's going to be a weird balance because I don't have a kid yet. So it's just me talking, but like they should understand technology. I think technology is going to take over the world in a good but bad way. You know, there's positive, negatives to everything, but like, you know, they need to learn the technology because that's going to be a lot of new jobs and facilitation and stuff like that, how you run things.
Right.
But at the same time, don't forget, like, power goes out, you still have to be able to function in the world.
I got 37 candles. Right. I've been waiting to burn them bitches.
Right. Like, how are you going to communicate with other people? Like, it's just not texting. It's not just that. Like, be able to, like, communicate. And, like, body language is everything. Be around people and
absolutely.
You know, be comfortable in the world. So, like, you're just going to have to, like...
Absolutely.
Start that at a young age.
So do you feel as though we have gotten our point across about work ethic?
I think if I had to wrap it up, one, just put in the work. Like if you think you could do more, and like I think the last game we played, it shouldn't have been as close as it was. And I looked at the kid, I was like, dude, you have like a minute left. I need you to play your heart out. Mm-hmm. And to me that made sense. And to him, he's like, then I'm gonna die. It's like, no, don't take your heart out.
It's fine. We got a defibrillator in the next room. It's good.
I need you to play as hard as you possibly can because, like, regardless of age, I've been in championship games and won and lost. But, like, to look at their faces at the end of a game and when they start saying, I should have did this, and, like, the first thing you do if you've played sports and you lost in like a big game, championship, playoff, whatever it is, and like the game ends, you're not on the top of that scoreboard.
Right.
The first thing you start doing is replaying things that you could have done better. You should have done this, that, and the other. What I'm trying to do with, you know, the young people is teach them, do that first.
Yeah.
Put everything on the line. So that way at the end of this game, you can't tell me one thing that you should have done.
No regrets.
So, like, that's me saying leave it all on the table. And, you know, whether that's class, hey, study for, 6 hours a day. I've had classes that didn't really go my way. I've had to retake classes. I remember one teacher, like, there was a kid in the class. He's like, hey, look, I work, almost full time. And I'm in this class. I did 6 hours of homework last night, and I'm still not getting it. And the teacher's like, look, if you fail, you can retake the class. Right. And, next time you retake it, you'll start off with somewhat of an understanding. He's like, your job is to teach me.
They don't tell you that. That's a smooth $900 later.
Right. That's $1,000 a class. I'm paying you to teach me. You're not even teaching me. And that same teacher, I went to her office hours.
Yeah.
She didn't show up. She didn't grade any of the tests the TA did. Does that change the fact, like, that, I could have passed?
Right.
No, I was good at excuses then. Retook the class with somebody different, and I put in the work then. I started going to it too, or I started doing things differently, and for me, it worked.
Yeah.
But I wasn't putting in the same amount of work that guy said he was when I was complaining.
Makes sense.
So, like, again, just put in the work, and I think anybody that has an influence on somebody younger, whether you're their parent, just a coach, just an older person, that's your neighbor, shooting around, give them a challenge. If you're, because I had the
Come over here and help me lay this mulch down.
I had a neighbor.
Grab that bag over there. I don't care if you only weigh 90 pounds. Pick that 60-pound bag up.
He watched me play basketball a lot, and he would like shoot when I was shooting. And like, I think if I could change anything now to then, it would be like, make 50 shots before you go in the house. Will it do anything for me? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But for you, you're going to try to make 50. And then when you see you can make 50, like 75 seems doable, right?
Right.
You couldn't do 75 before.
Yeah.
But like you just kind of like grow. And I think just like that teaching method will instill in certain people. But if you're not a teacher, at least be a doer. Like people get influenced by other people being successful.
Absolutely.
And I've seen kids that were stoners, lazy back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're pretty on top of things, but like they had to go through a big change and grow.
Right.
And start putting in the work. And again, just put in the work. If you think you can do more afterwards, do more. Like if you're working out, don't kill yourself. Never, go too far and sacrifice too much.
Right.
But I think sacrifice is required to get to the next level. Anything you're doing, whether
Absolutely.
It be school,
you gotta sacrifice something.
Working out. Like if you want to just, get your body together.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to eat a little better. You're gonna have to, lift a little bit more. You're gonna have to spend more time in the gym focusing on you. Find you a good gym partner. Like you're not by yourself, but you have to keep pushing yourself. You have to just sacrifice more and do more.
Yeah.
And quit crying about having to work.
Just do better.
Everybody's got to work.
Just do better. Just get there.
And you know, I don't know. Some people just cry about it, and some people just do it. And I want to give a shout out right now to DJ and Kimbro from work, because they got their podcast going, and DJ and Kimbro, they've been killing it, working hard.
Shout out to
Kimbro's
them.
working 2 jobs. DJ's working hard. He's a parent. Like, he's got a younger child, like, here, and he's got 2 kids, but like one of them's a little bit younger, and he's just going at it. And I've been picking their brains on like how to run the podcast and how to get all this stuff set up. And with no hesitation, they've been helping me out. So if anybody here is a wrestling fan or just want to, like, you know, hear a good show, Generations of Wrestling podcast. He's on YouTube, Facebook. They do live shows 10 times a week, killing it. Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, all the stuff. He's on all of them. And he was a big part of how I got my setup going and everything else. But just watching them kill it and just enjoy it. Like, when he comes to work, he's super tired, but to him, it's worth it because he's working hard, he's providing for the family, and he's doing something he enjoys in a show. And I love it because I'm all about working hard. You know, why not? And to us, it takes work to get there, but just this part of it's not hard because we enjoy talking anyway. So just having a topic to talk about and rant a little bit and get you guys interested, like, it's all good. So again, big shout out, Generations of Wrestling podcast, YouTube, Facebook. Give them a like, follow, subscribe, comments, this, that, and the other. Any wrestling fans, I recommend this highly. They do AEW, NXT, all pay-per-views for WWE shows, this, that, and the other, and they shoot straight from the hip. So they're real, and I think their slogan is "Real Talk for Real Fans," because, you know, who wants something other than real? Just straightforward, let's get at it. And Dre didn't even dismiss himself for this one. Don't know where he done runned off to. But, yeah, big shout out to them because they've helped me out with the setup, the lights, the camera, this Blue Yeti mic going, and the splitter, everything we have going on right now. So shout out to them. Oh, he's back.
I was told I shouldn't announce when I leave. I would just leave.
Be like a double tap or something.
Yeah, well.
But no, I feel like we're at that good point to wrap it up anyway. Don't want to beat a dead horse, but like I said, do you have any final words on work ethic? Just recommendations, go do it. Slogans, dreams don't work hard if you don't.
Yep. I think if I had to say anything, I would just say, you know, never think like you can't do something just because it's hard. You miss every shot you don't take. Yeah, like, you know, it's Green Wesky, Michael Scott. It's one of them things where you just got to get in it, you got to do it, and then once you accomplish something, and once you gain something that you have worked hard for, like, you'll have a sense of accomplishment. Yeah, and once you feel that, the next thing is only this much further. Yeah. So if you're, you want to move up one level at work, or you want to bench 10 more pounds, or whatever it is, like, or say you want to bench 100 more pounds, you have to add 10, slowly 10. Like, you have to work your way through the process. You'll never skip the process. Right. I hate when you're working out, especially because, like, so many people are vulnerable to this. Here goes your New Year's resolution: shortcut abs, shortcut shoulders. Here's how you get this in 10 days. You're not going to get this in 10 days. You can't. No. Like, there's no way. Like, you want to be sustainable. You want to have things that last. Put in the work. Let everything speak for you. And if you have any real worries on the fact that, this is going to take so much time, that time is going to pass regardless. Are you still going to be at point A, or are you going to be at point F or G by that point? Right. Exactly. The next 5 years, they're going to go by regardless. Exactly. And anybody that's at least 21 years old knows that time goes by twice as fast when you hit 21. When you hit 25, it's 3 times as fast. Man. And at 30, I think we're at point 8
15 times. I don't really like it. Just
Shenanigans. She did it twice.
Yeah. Shenanigans. Let me know. Give us a comment and let the people know how fast time goes when you're 30 plus 1. Because it just, as you get older, it goes even faster. Like when I was 18, life was in slow-mo. We were just enjoying the moment. And then 21, I was enjoying the moment, but that moment was like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And at 25, I was like, shit, I can get a good car. But like, if I don't do it now, I'm going to miss vacation.
Right.
Like, and I mean, I'm almost at 30. I ain't there yet, but
right.
Shit.
Well, you'll be there before me, so.
Based on dates, yes, soul-wise, I think you are 2.5 times past me right now.
I hit 30 a long time ago.
Like, if you ain't 75, I don't know what you are.
Oh, man. All right, we're ram. Let's wrap this up.
All right, guys. Appreciate the follow, listening to us. Anything else you guys want to hear, absolutely send our way. We'll be hitting another show next week. Topic is to be determined, but we like to keep it open like that. So
yeah, something great. Shout it out to us.
100%. Love you guys. Have a great night.
Absolutely.